27 years ago, Tom Cruise accidentally starred in an action movie which was a remake of an even smaller Mission Impossible TV show. The first Mission Impossible made around $400 million with a budget of $80 million. It wasn't just a huge success, but it also solidified 5'6" tall Tom Cruise as a leading action movie star.
Just put your manners back in.
Do you think I was out of line?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I apologize for that sincerely.
A movie star who would in the future years rule Hollywood as the only reigning movie star even today in the year 2023, Tom Cruise is said to be the only action movie star left who could pull audiences into the theaters, a superstar who outshines other action movie stars like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Will Smith, or even Dwayne Johnson. Over the years, Tom Cruise alone has built a reputation for himself, an actor who couldn't make a bad movie even if he tried. None of Tom Cruise's movies have ever gotten a bad review in recent past. All of his flicks, even if they stumble at times at the box office, they never get bad reviews. Movies like Edge of Tomorrow, Top Gun Maverick, or the Mission Impossible franchise getting better and better over every sequel. Tom Cruise's reputation and his goodwill among audiences has drawn people into theaters in support of his movies.
Tom, we've never seen you behave this way before.
I know.
Have you ever felt this way before?
Mission Impossible 7, Dead Reckoning Part 1 is yet another Mission Impossible sequels that tops the previous Mission movies. Now it's not as good as Mission Impossible Fallout, the film starring Tom Cruise and Henry Cavill. That movie and its pace was perfect for a Mission movie. Topping Fallout would be a very difficult task. The high-altitude military parachuting or halo jump, the bike chase scenes in France, the helicopter scenes over the Himalayas. None of those scenes or that movie could be topped again. Now this film, Dead Reckoning Part 1, comes close enough to challenge the film. However, even with Tom Cruise doing his absolute best, they couldn't top Fallout. Henry Cavill's performance as the huge and strong figure fighting 5'6" Tom Cruise on the Himalayas also couldn't be topped. Those scenes are now iconic.
That's what it says on Wikipedia.
Yeah. Wikipedia? Using Wikipedia as your source of information.
The story of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 revolves around an AI or artificial intelligence, an AI that's capable of erasing and creating its own truth and lies, a godlike creature on the internet. Now this storyline has been done to death by Hollywood, from the Fast and Furious movies to the Terminator Endless franchise. All of them have done AI villains, but nobody has done AI in such creative ways, experimenting the artificial intelligence not as a device, but as a supporting and threatening character. A character that could erase people from CCTVs and create and sabotage communication between two agents. A true invisible villain who cannot be captured or spoken to unless wanted by the entity itself. A true ghost who scares the living shit out of Ethan Hunt and his gang of lovable thieves.
What are you waiting for?
I'm jumping out a window!
What do you mean you're jumping out of a... Oh, sorry, I had it in 2D. Good luck.
Now the storyline revolves around a goober key that could help the holder control the said artificial intelligence. The entire plot revolves around Ethan Hunt gaining and losing this goober key repeatedly. In the beginning, Ethan Hunt gains one half of the goober, the other half is with this mysterious seller who he chases down at Abu Dhabi Airport in UAE. But fails to find the purpose of the goober because, boom, Captain Carter shows up as an international thief, a thief who could get in and out of anywhere and steal anything.
I could do this all day.
You serious?
Ethan Hunt catches up to her with close-up magic. Unfortunately, the government is after Ethan Hunt as usual, and Ethan loses both her and the goober at the airport. Meanwhile, Simon Pegg was busy chatting with the AI and a fake atom bomb at the airport. A very interesting scene, very tense. But again, in Venice, Ethan Hunt ends up in an even more intense car chase scene, where he's half tied up and half involved in the car chase scene. My dude chooses a vintage electric Fiat to escape. Another awesome Mission Impossible car chase scene, very similar to the bike chase scene in France from Mission Impossible Fallout. In the next scene, we meet Vanessa Kirby's character once again. She's interested in buying the goober keys in order to access the AI. She wants to sell the keys to the highest and safest bidder, to the CIA. However, that plan goes haywire when Ethan Hunt shows up jumping from a cliff hanging onto his motorbike. Dude, 60-year-old Tom Cruise jumps from a huge mountain peak for real. My man risks his life to entertain us. Meanwhile, Marvel and Disney actors live and breath garbage green screen CGI throughout their movies, and we throw more and more cash at their faces instead of watching something real like the Mission Impossible franchise. Shame we need to choose our cinema outings better. We must as audiences, as target demographic, choose quality over hype and quantity. Marvel and Disney have been making garbage movies for a while now, and we as consumers must choose films, actors, and filmmakers who value our time and effort. We must boycott garbage movies from Marvel Studios and other Hollywood tycoons.
The terrorists only set us back a bit.
You have to stop calling them terrorists.
So yes, Ethan Hunt, with all the fights and shootouts, finally my man Hunt gains the goober that he was looking for the entire time, and Mantis from the MCU, who plays a pseudo Harley Quinn character, lets Ethan in on the entire submarine and goober keys. He learns that the key is used to access the AI from the Russian submarine. That's where the movie ends, and Dead Reckoning Part 2 releases next year. I heard Tom Cruise and team shot both the films one after the other. Most of the characters from Part 1 will return, from Haley Atwell to Palm Clementif. Mantis felt like an everyday character from the John Wick universe. Meanwhile, Haley Atwell felt like a Mission Impossible character who needs to stick around. Her character Grace came through like an Ethan Hunt female version, kind and lighthearted character with a ton of charisma. Haley Atwell's character has genuine chemistry with Ethan Hunt. Compared to Rebecca Ferguson's British spy, who has very little on-screen chemistry, I was fine with her character getting fridged in order to motivate Ethan Hunt. Eve heard a lot of feminists whining about the female leads in Mission Impossible movies being killed off for newer, more attractive female leads, and you know what, those feminists are right. Mission Impossible girls do get killed off for newer, more improved, and younger female leads to take over from them, and you don't see me whining because the newer ones are just better and more attractive. I love to see things I like on screen rather than taking up sides. Social messages and political agendas could go to hell.
Who are all these women?
Yeah, Anwar. Who are we?
So many important people, family, relatives, and friends, There's the one special one.
And who's that?
Oh, come on, you know who you are.
I love Haley Atwell's character more than Rebecca's British spy. Haley is hotter and sweeter than Rebecca's, so your Rebecca and her social message could go to hell. I choose Captain Carter over Captain Dune's mother. Grace also reminded me of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, a film that also stars a more outright feminist female Mary Sue. I don't remember the character's name, or was it Helena Shaw? Either way, Haley's character in Dead Reckoning felt more organic and genuine. Meanwhile, the character from Indiana Jones, played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, felt like a Kathleen Kennedy-induced social justice character who mocks and shames the older male star to a corner to teach him about his straight white male privilege.
How did you end up like this?
What do you mean? Resourceful, daring, beautiful, self-sufficient!
I wouldn't have been surprised if Rey Skywalker talked like a teenage girl who grew up on Twitter or grew up watching the new and improved feminism-boosted Star Wars. Every new Star Wars project and Marvel project has a female lead in the movie who's better than the male lead, to a point where the characters themselves are aware and outright say they need men to move aside so they could take up their rightful place as the lead. She-Hulk, Loki, and Sylvie, and even Indiana Jones all have dealt with such feminist characters. Meanwhile, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning is no way preachy or condescending to Ethan Hunt. The female character has her own flaws and her own shortcomings. In fact, in most of the scenes, Grace felt like she got into a mess that's too deep for her to stand on. Her character is more like a fish out of water situation, where she has to figure out the depth of the trouble she's in, and she needs Ethan Hunt, the more experienced spy, to help her figure out her position. If Disney produced Mission Impossible, Grace the character would have been a know-it-all, angry, ugly feminist whom no man would tolerate in real life, but somehow in the Disney movie world, every man wants to be with her and marry her. As if she's such a treasure. Go to hell with your outright hate for men and manly heroes on the big screen. Go broke like Bud Light, Disney.
Kid Rock made his feelings known when he posted this video shooting up cases of Bud Light.
Every new Mission Impossible movie is better than its prequels, and once again Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie attain the impossible, which is to make yet another good Mission Impossible movie. where Tom Cruise tries to kill himself in order to entertain us, and believe me, I'm fine with him risking his life for us. That just makes the movie-going experience special and worth watching on the big IMAX screens. It's a shame Mission Impossible has to compete with Barbie and Oppenheimer for IMAX screens. I hope the film makes its budget back and breaks even so we could continue watching Tom Cruise and his crazy close-hand magic tricks. Let's hope the audiences choose to watch Mission Impossible over Barbie or Oppenheimer. I can only vouch for movies I've seen. I'm sure Oppenheimer would be another good film from Christopher Nolan, and Barbie is another LGBTQ+ activist movie that will disappoint everybody who've closed their eyes and bought into all the marketing hype. That movie would disappoint a Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 to gain all the IMAX screens back from Barbie, so we could have the final laugh against social justice SJW films and TV shows in general. Those films needs to die at the box office every year as a message to Hollywood elites that common sense and honest filmmaking will get rewarded and virtue signal movies and shows will bomb. Over and over again, go woke and go broke. That's it. Go watch Mission Impossible 7. The film will not disappoint action movie lovers. It's worth watching. Total score 10/10. Bye-bye, my friends.